everyone, how's it going and welcome back to my channel. February is almost over, which means that it's time for my monthly manga reads. I have read a lot of interesting things for the month of February. Very interesting. Some of them are so pure and happy and fun, and some are just really obscure and like, what is going on here? So honestly, it's been a really interesting mix of manga this month, keeping things interesting, that's for sure. And February as a whole was very short. You know, we only have 29 days in February, so very short month, but I got a lot of reading done this month and I have a lot to share with you all today. Before I get to all the manga that I've been reading for this month, I just want to say that we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, everyone. I don't even know what to say, so thank you. We are almost there at 1,000 subscribers. I never expected to hit that milestone so quickly, so it's just like absolutely amazing to even be so close to 1,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe if you like my content, and give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying what I'm talking about today. So a lot of things to say, really excited, and thank you all for checking out my video. So yeah, okay, so I have these volumes here today. These are all volume ones of the series that I have read. So, I know it doesn't look like a lot, like, wow, you only read 4 volumes of manga. No, these are only the first volumes of these series. So that's why I'm only holding them. I do have more of the volumes, but they're away right now. I didn't want to carry like a huge stack. That takes a lot of time, So, yeah, I don't actually know which one to start off with because there's so many things that I have to say, but I think I'll start off with the most pure one here, and that is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I love this. I read a little bit of this a few years back, and I never finished it. I think I don't even know if I made it through the first volume. I was trying to read it, but I think I had too much on my plate at the time, and I never read the whole thing. I never read what I had borrowed from the library. So I re-borrowed it from the library, and I am up to volume 8. Okay, I know I'm not done with this series, but I made it up to volume 8, and it's such a great series. I absolutely love it. I'm surprised that it took me so long to actually sit down and read it, because this is exactly my kind of thing. I don't know if you all know. You probably already do, especially if you watch a lot of my videos. I love things with yokai and spirits and like things like that. So Hanako-kun is exactly what I like. It's like a supernatural slice of life rom-com kind of thing, because there is kind of like romance going on, but it's not like the main focus. But like, honestly, it's so much fun. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun is about a girl named Nene, and she is very like boy crazy. I guess you could categorize her as someone who's boy crazy, and she just wants to be a couple with somebody, and she's a person who will have a different crush every week and not know anything about those people, but she has a crush on them. And she ends up exploring her school, and she finds Hanako-kun. Hanako-kun is a spirit or a wonder of the school, which is basically supposed to like grant you a wish. If you find Hanako-kun, you are granted a wish. And so she wanted to find Hanako-kun to basically grant her the wish of like, hey, I want to be with my crush, like let him fall in love with me and stuff like that. And things kind of don't work out exactly how she wants them to, but after certain events, which I will not spoil, they end up like bound to each other, I guess you could say, both Hanako-kun and Nene. So we have those two characters. We have Minamoto, who is kind of like the, I don't want to say antagonist, but kind of like the antagonist, the one who's against Hanako-kun, and you'll learn more about him, so I don't want to say too much as well. But honestly, it's such a fun cast of characters. This manga reads very animatedly. Like, you read it and it has so much life to it. For something about spirits, this manga is about, it's filled with life. It really is. And I absolutely love that about Hanako-kun. Hanako-kun himself is like the hall monitor of the school. And while there are other like wonders of the school that students have to discover, it's like Hanako-kun is the hall monitor, keeping the rest of the spirits in check. So I love that about him. I love the relationships that we see and the character interactions. This is absolutely marvelous. And if you haven't read Toilet Bound Hanako-kun already, I really, really, truly do recommend it. It is so much fun. And like I said, I've read up to volume 8 and I plan on borrowing the rest of the series as well because this has been such a delight to read. Absolutely love Hanako-kun. So that's a series that I've been reading for February. Woohoo! Now let's move on to my next series. We're actually, you know what? This is the next one. This is the next one. You know what? We'll do this. I'm like trying to go from pure to like just the ones that are not so pure. This one is still pretty pure and one that I have been dying to read for a long, long time. And that is Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou. So I was so excited to find this in my library. I really wanted to check this out. I have heard so many things about it. I heard that it was like a chill manga. You like one of those relaxing mangas. And I was like, oh, I like relaxing and I like manga. So why not read this? This is the deluxe edition. And so basically it's an omnibus. It's pretty thick. And I believe there are going to be 5 volumes of this series or this release. And I absolutely really, really enjoyed this manga omnibus. I didn't really know what to expect. So, you know, as I started reading, I was like, wow, look, like these nice color pages. Like, look at that. I was like, this is beautiful stuff. I was like, I love this. And I was like, wow, this is definitely like 90s style. You can tell just by looking at the artwork and everything. Super 90s style, which I absolutely love. So no complaints there, but I really didn't know what to expect. I guessed, I should say. I was like, okay, it's about a girl who's, you know, on her motorcycle and maybe, you know, I didn't read the back. I didn't read the synopsis or anything. So I was like, oh, it's just a girl on her journeys around the world, you know, on her motorcycle and probably meeting people. I'm like, this is going to be a nice story. And then I realized, you know, as I was reading, I turned the page and she's like, it's a good thing that I don't feel time because I'm a robot. And I'm like, what? You're a robot? I'm like, that was like the biggest surprise for me. What? I was like, what? This girl is a robot? I guess I never expected that to happen. I didn't know that she was a robot. She's like, oh yeah, good thing that I could wait forever because I'm a robot and I don't feel it. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I didn't expect that at all. And then to top it off, like a page later, she's like loading a gun or taking the bullet out of a gun. I'm like, I thought this was a relaxing manga. Like, where did that come from? Luckily, she did not use the gun or there was no violence, that's for sure. But I was caught off guard. I was like, what exactly is this manga about? And so I had to flip over. I was like, oh, geez, I am blind. That's why I just flipped it upside down. But apparently it takes place in a futuristic Japan where like the earth and the world has already ended. And so you have humans, but you also have like robot people and they're completely fine with these robot people. They live among the humans and there's even doctors for the robots and everything. And it's like really, really nice and chill. But at the same time, I just really didn't expect that at all. So it is about Alpha, and Alpha is our main character. Alpha runs a coffee shop and you see her interactions with the people that come to her coffee shops and the people that she meets along the way as she travels with her motorcycle. And I just absolutely really enjoyed it. I think it also has to do with the art. I really love that kind of art style. So seeing the art and seeing this relaxing atmosphere, it's like considering the fact that there has been some catastrophic environmental disaster, this manga is super relaxing. Like, I don't get it, but I really, really enjoyed it. So overall, I really, really enjoyed this first volume. I do plan on reading the upcoming volumes that have been released and are planning to be released. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. So whoever recommended this to me, thank you for the recommendation because I was relaxed. I was smiling. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fascinating. And like I said, considering all this disaster, it's definitely very relaxing. And while there isn't like a super strong story, I guess you could say, I really like the journey of Alpha trying to find her owner and trying to connect with people to figure out like what happened to her owner, her creator. And so I like that. Even though there isn't much story progression, it's not like you're going, you see a lot of, many things happening. It's simple, it's straight to the point, it's relaxing, it's engaging, it's everything that it should be. And that's why I really have been enjoying Yokohama Kaidashi Kikou. So yeah, definitely really happy about that manga. So I have read 2 other series for the month of February. We'll start off with this one because you know what? It's still kind of, it's still kind of toned down. It's still kind of pure for the most part, I guess you could say. And that is Cinderella Closet. So Cinderella Closet is about this girl who's kind of like the ugly duckling. Her name is, I don't even remember, Haruka. Yes. And Haruka, she, after she graduates high school, she ends up getting a job, going to college, and she's always working. She's always at work. She's always studying, and so she doesn't take care of her appearance. She doesn't take care of her clothes or her makeup or her hair. She's just kind of living life, it's the daily grind, I guess you could say, Haruka wants to make herself feel more pretty, like in the inside and the outside. She has a crush that works in the same place that she works, and she wants to impress him. She wants to go on dates and everything, but she's like, I can't go looking like this. She ends up bumping into a very, very beautiful person named Hikaru, and Hikaru comes off kind of very direct, actually. Like, very direct. Like, oh, you're so ugly. Like, that ugly face of yours. I was like, hold on. I'm like, excuse you. That's the thing that kind of like, I was not a big fan of that behavior and the way that Hikaru was talking to Haruka. But every time Hikaru would say something like that to Haruka, it was always about, like, not necessarily just her appearance, but, like, her confidence levels. And so eventually Haruka contacts Hikaru and is like, hey, please, I know you're so pretty, teach me your ways, make me pretty too, teach me how to do makeup and my hair and everything. And Hikaru's like, okay, all right, I'll show you what to do, and I'll make you beautiful, I guess you could say. So Hikaru is kind of like the fairy godmother in the story. But you see, the thing is, it's like, I don't care how beautiful you're gonna make me look. You talk to me like that, and I am not talking to you. That's how I felt when I was reading this. I was like, come on, why do you say these things? I know that Hikaru was, at times referring to Haruka's, low self-esteem, but, why are you calling her things like butt ugly and stuff like that? I didn't like that. And I know that if it were me in Haruka's shoes, I wouldn't be after somebody who's calling me names, no matter what they're trying to do for me, even if it's something huge. No, I'm sorry. I'm just that kind of person, I guess. But that's how I felt when I was reading Cinderella Closet. I want to be happy for the characters, and I do. I'm happy for her and for, gaining more self-esteem, feeling beautiful. That's something that, a lot of girls want to feel. And I like that aspect of it, of boosting your self-esteem by making yourself, more presentable, I guess you could say. Because by making yourself look more presentable, you're not just fixing the outside, but you're kind of also fixing the inside. I guess that's what they're kind of trying to get along with this manga, but it just didn't really work for me. There's also a really big secret with Hikaru, so I'm not going to spoil that, but there is a secret with Hikaru, and I do know that there are more volumes of this manga, but I just don't really have any interest in continuing this series. Also, the fact that her crush kind of messed up their plans that they had for her birthday. I know she canceled on him a million times, but the one actual plan that she had, he canceled on her. Dude. And not only that, but it's okay, if you weren't if you didn't say that she was beautiful and that she wasn't if she wasn't pretty, not beautiful, and you weren't saying you weren't interested in her before. Now all of a sudden, once she gets her hair done and wears like a dress, now you kind of see her. I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, really? I'm like, Haruka, you deserve better. You deserve better. Like, don't fix yourself for no man. Like, really, just, yes, boost your self-esteem, but come on, find someone better. You know, if he didn't love you at your Mia Thermopolis, he's not gonna love you when you're the princess of Genovia. Like, honestly, like, that's how I felt when I was reading this manga. And so I don't really have any initiative to continue reading this series. Maybe if someone says like to keep reading, I will. But honestly, I don't like Hikaru's like really out of hand comments at times. I know they're just trying to boost Haruka's self-esteem and confidence and try to build her up, but like I could just imagine like if it were me and someone was speaking to me that way, like I don't vibe with that. So it's a no from me, unfortunately. I mean, unless someone tells me, hey, continue, it gets better, I don't really intend to continue Cinderella Closet, unfortunately. I'm sorry. The next manga and the last manga that I'm going to be talking about today is the most obscure one. This one is a manga by Shuzo Oshimi, which has created more very, very interesting series. And so naturally I really wanted to read this one as well because I am a Shuzo Oshimi fan. And so I picked up Welcome Back Alice. Welcome Back Alice might be the strangest manga of Shuzo Oshimi's that I have read so far. And that's saying a lot because Shuzo Oshimi manga is often very bizarre in different ways. This one reminds me more of like Flowers of Evil in terms of like many different things. I'll get back to that, but it reminds me more of Flowers of Evil compared to like Blood on the Tracks. And I love Flowers of Evil, and I absolutely absolutely love Blood on the Tracks. Huge fan of both of those series. So I really wanted to check out Welcome Back Alice. And Welcome Back Alice, I read up to volume 5 and geez, whoa. Like, I don't even know what to say when it comes to this manga. This manga is very interesting because it has to do with a lot of like identity and gender and things like that. I don't read a lot of manga that focus around those concepts and those ideas, so I feel like this is something that I'm like, oh, okay, like it's interesting, like it's making me think. It really is, and I like that. I appreciate that about Shuzo Oshimi because a lot of times like these viewpoints are presented very interestingly in Shuzo Oshimi manga. So it definitely has a lot of interesting moments. We have a trio of characters. We have, once again, I'm horrible with names. We have Yohei, or just Yo. We have his crush, who is Yui Mitani or something like that. And then also Kei. And so we have these 3 characters who are like friends while they're in school. And it's interesting because the interactions that you see between these 3 characters aren't very friendly, and the ones that are friendly are a different type of friendly. This manga is definitely rated like M for sure. Yeah, rated 16 plus. I can see that because the interactions are very interesting. I don't want to say too much just in case you want to read it, but you know, it kind of felt like borderline harassment at times. And I feel like that's happened to me with other Shuzo Oshimi manga. But this time the harassment feels personal. Like, I don't know. It feels like, I don't know. Shuzo Oshimi has a very interesting talent of making you feel like you're in the manga. But I don't feel terror. And I don't feel, when I read Blood on the Tracks, I feel terror. I feel like I'm like an anxious wreck. Like I do. Because I feel like I'm like, oh geez, like this... I'm in danger. Or like when I'm reading Flowers of Evil, it's kind of, you feel a certain way when you're reading this manga. This manga too, you feel like you're the one kind of being harassed in a way, and that's what's going on in this manga, because you have an interesting situation going on, especially with one particular character who is who changes their overall identity, I guess you could say. And it really makes you question, and it really makes you think about gender fluidity and like, you know, sexual orientation and things like that. It makes you think of a lot of things like that as you read this manga. So like I said, there's a lot of concepts that I don't really see in other manga. So it's presented in a way that makes me think, and it's a way that I'm like, okay, like this is a concept or an idea that I don't see too often, and it kept me engaged. I enjoyed this, but at times it felt like the main character was being harassed and I also was being harassed. So it's very like why are you touching me if I don't ask you to, especially because that's kind of what happens in this manga at times. There's also a really interesting afterword where you learn more about Shuzo Oshimi himself and about how he feels like a little bit less of a man. And it's really interesting because you get to learn more about the author and the creator of this manga. And so definitely stick around for those afterwards if you read Welcome Back Alice, because you learn more about Shuzo Oshimi himself and about his own identity and what it makes, or how he feels as a man and how he feels as a person. And so like I said, it's very, very interesting and very, very smart, but very, very rated for older teens and up. I can say that for sure. There's a lot of mature situations going on. Very, very like, not creep, I guess a little creepy, but it's like, come on, like you're asking those kind of questions to the characters, like chillax, you know? So at times it was, you know, a lot of Shuzo Oshimi manga are, you know, they're meant to make you feel uncomfortable and unsettled, and you're gonna feel like that towards, you know, Welcome Back Alice as well. But it's very smart and very interesting. Like I said, I'm usually a big fan of Shuzo Oshimi manga, so I had a feeling that I was going to enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but at times some of the like boundaries were crossed. But at times in Shuzo Oshimi manga, the boundaries are always being crossed when it comes to all the characters. So you know what? It's kind of on brand for Shuzo Oshimi. So it just, yeah, it there's a lot for that manga. There's a lot. But anyway, so those are the 4 manga that I have read for the month of February. I have more manga that I want to read for March, and I can't wait to go pick up those volumes soon at my library. Really, really looking forward to reading the manga for March. I already picked out the titles that I want to check out, so it's going to be really exciting. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. I feel like I talked way too long. I feel like I talked for way longer than I expected to. I'm sorry, but I hope you enjoyed this video anyway. If you haven't followed me on X, feel free to follow me there. I'm Paisennoticedyou with a U. I want to post there more often, but I only have like 40 followers, so my motivation is kind of low. But if more people follow me, I'll post more. I'll post more pictures and fun stuff, and I hope you all follow me there and or subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching this video. I totally appreciate it. Can't wait to share with you more content this month, and let's see when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Can't wait for the future of this channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.